Hey everybody, Kenny Wisdom here, bringing you another expanded tournament, and this time we're going to do kind of what we did last week, and we're going to play another Eelektrik deck, except this time we are going to play the Dragon Rayquaza. So as you can see, it's a Mega Rayquaza for 5 energy. It does 300 damage, and you have to discard 2. Instead of having the trait that lets you evolve first turn, it has 4 resistances. And basically, the advantage to this card is that it can get through anything. 300 damage is nothing can survive that in the format. And 4 resistances is nice. You know, a weakness is not really all that relevant, whereas the colorless one's weakness definitely is relevant. And again, just the ability to once you set up, you go off. You know, we often talk about in this deck how once you get the combo up, basically of multiple Electrics, a Rayquaza, and a Keldeo Floatstone, you can kind of go off. And this deck allows the same thing, but in sort of a different way. Once you have all the energy on this guy, you have to discard 2 every turn, but again, that's just reset from Dynamotor, and then you're just taking as many prizes that you like. Now, to be fair, the setup cost of this guy is high, as you can see down here, 3 fire energy. What that means is we're not going to be able to Dynamotor those on. You know, if we have to attach 3 energy from our hand, we are not going to be able to get them back if they get discarded, and if, you know, say do a Crushing Hammer or Enhanced Hammer or something, and we are going to have to set all of those up before we start attacking with this guy. So it is possible that this Rayquaza is just more efficient, just being able to Dragon Burst and say, hey, you know, this attack Dragon Burst scales with the energy I have, but only costs me 2. It has a very little cost, but if I can get more, it can get me there. Whereas this guy says, I need a lot, but once I'm there, I'm good. So, not sure what's actually better. Ancient Origins releases very soon, so we're just gonna, you know, try out some interesting decks, try out some different ideas in the coming weeks. The one advantage that this deck does have is we play 4 copies of Double Dragon Energy. So, the ability to forego an attachment of fire is really strong. You know, we can do something like turn 1, attach a Double Dragon. Turn 2, attach a Fire and Dynamotor twice. Discard the 2 Electrics that we Dynamotored on. And then rush in, retreat, do it all over again. Obviously, that's a very good scenario for us, but it's also not unrealistic with 7 Lightning, 4 Double Dragon, 4 Electrics. So, we'll see. Again, might be possible that the normal Rayquaza EX is just a more efficient attacker, but just wanted to try something out, see how it goes. The rest of the deck is pretty much fine. We've got 2 Shaymins, a 4/4 Dynamo, or 4/4 Electric rather, and a Keldeo EX, a Dowsing Machine, 4 Level Ball, a pretty standard, 3 Ultra Ball. We do have 2 of the Spirit Links and 2 of the Tropical Beaches. Last time I found with the deck that we were drawing dead a fair amount of the time, and the Spirit Links just have to be there for you to be able to efficiently use your Rayquaza in any way. Besides that, the rest of the deck is pretty standard. Because of all the stuff I'm adding, I can only fit 1 Colress and 1 Lysander, which might end up hurting us, but we do have 4 VS Seeker, and, you know, again, our deck is one that hopefully if we set up doesn't take too much else to get going. So that's the deck list. We're going to see how it works in an expanded tournament. Hey everybody, Kenny Wisdom back for round 1 versus Batwoman96. Pretty cool username. Looks like we're going to go second this game. PTCGO seems to be a little laggy right now. Hopefully that doesn't happen too often. So we've got a bunch of stadiums and a Spursha, a grass. Interesting. We're going to go ahead and start with Rayquaza, though we will play the Dynamo on the bench as well. No reason to play the other Pokemon yet, I don't think. No, I'm just going to go ahead and skip that. Ooh, Bouffalant. Alright, so this is a guy we haven't seen in a while. This card was really powerful when it first came out. You know, basically having 120 HP on a non-EX, and then if you had Eviolite back then, so kind of giving it 140, and then being able to do 120 to EX is really strong. A little bit limited now. You know, still a good card, but not what it used to be. And mulliganed into a much worse hand, but still not a terrible one. Opponent plays Teddiursa, Kangaskhan, and passes the turn. Yeah, I think I'm fine with going like this, and then I don't really want a Juniper here because I want to keep the possibility of Rayquaza and, more importantly, the um, Eelektrik. So I think the question is whether I Mega Evolve or Tropical Beach, but I don't think I'm under a whole lot of pressure, so let's just Tropical Beach. Alright, drew into a fine hand. I can play the Rayquaza next turn if I draw a Spirit Link. Ooh, our opponent's going to do 120 now. If I draw a Spirit Link, I can Mega Evolve right away. Play the Eelektrik, get a Dynamo. Oh, we're getting End. Okay, this hand's still reasonable. Hard Charm. Alright, so our opponent is definitely playing Bouffalant as it was intended to be played. So let's level ball here. Take a Dynamo. Level ball again, this time for an Eelektrik. And evolve that guy. Let's go like this. Ultra Ball like this for a Shaman. And let's use setup. Alright, there's Keldeo. Floatstone. Ooh, we just took a bunch of damage off the Double Dragon too. But our opponent doesn't have a whole lot going on. Let's go ahead and rush in. Dynamotor like this. I don't really want to end our opponent into more cards. Actually, let's just go ahead and do this. This is pretty risky, but just want to see how it works. Again, not going to defend this as not a risky play, but just looking to see how this card actually performs. And also, our opponent doesn't have a whole lot going on, it doesn't seem like, so I'm willing to bet we have a turn or two before we start getting pressured. Kangaskhan's going to call for a family. They get Comet Punch with the TC. Oh, they end us. Wow. Okay, so we got just extremely lucky there. Our opponent had to end. We're going to get a Fire Energy off this Professor's Letter. It's going to be pretty bad for them. Although, maybe we just look into getting another attack route. Attacking for one prize using the Mega Rayquaza is actually not doing a whole lot for us. I still think we probably just go with it for this turn. But I feel like we should just Juniper, or I guess we can Versus Seeker for Colress or something. Yeah, so everyone's going to call for family. I guess Colress is a lot better if they get to put him on the bench with call. Yeah. So Colress Sync for 8. Wow. Interesting. Alright, so Professor's Letter, we're going to get Fire Electric here because we're going to... Actually, I guess we're not going to discard the rest of our hand, but that's one reason to do so. Let's attach here, take some more damage. And then Versus Seeker Colress. And alright, there's Level Ball. Again, it looks like PTCGO is going pretty slow. Looks like it's lagging a bit, so hope that doesn't come across too much in the video, but if it does, I apologize. So we can discard like this. Get an Ultra Ball. And then discard like this to find one of these guys. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4 energy, so we just need a single Dynamotor here. And let's just go ahead this time and discard our 2 electric energy. Did we do it? There we go. Alright, perfect. And we have the Versus Seeker in hand. Our opponent does have some threats up now, but they're EXs that are pretty slow, so I'm not too worried about it. This is also probably not too relevant, but this is back in the day when dragons were only weak to other dragons, so Palkia is particularly bad against our deck. And now we do have the kind of thing set up like I was saying, where we have the 3 energy already on. Pokemon Catcher I don't think does much for us here unless they have a way to get rid of our Floatstone. I guess they can find a way to knock out. If they get an Eelektrik and knock it out, for instance, that'll hurt us too, or the Rayquaza knock it out, but I don't think they actually can. Tropical Beach also looks... Maybe I just haven't played with this card enough, but when it's in your collection and in your discard pile, it just looks very, very shiny. It looks strange. Maybe it shows it in here. No, I can't. Yeah, see, it has it's like all whited out, like it's supposed to be like the new foiling. I don't know, maybe I just never noticed because I don't play with Tropical Beach as much, but... Whoa, what's this? Oh, giant cape but no energy? Okay. Sorry, for some reason I thought I had energy on it and I was gonna say, whoa, let's calm down. So yeah, it looks like our opponent's not doing a whole lot. Again, we are taking these prizes in pretty much the most inefficient way, but because we do have the 3 fire already attached, it doesn't matter as much. Could save this Versus Seeker for when I get inevitably end down to low cards, but I think this is actually fine. Let's go ahead and retreat here. Dragon Ascent. This is actually a frustrating part of the card, to having to discard like this. I don't know why it doesn't. One of my frustrations with PTGO is just why it shows you a game like this. So it's showing you a game from what it would look like in real life, like the real view. But I'm not actually sure how useful that is. I think I would rather just have a bird's eye view of the game. I view the fact that we have to look at the game like this to be a downside to playing as human beings rather than playing on a computer. So I would much rather just have a bird's eye view of the match. Just kind of imagine that the screen is tilted up a bit. But not a huge deal. Doesn't cause me a whole lot of problems, but it just seems kind of useless. And it looks like we're going down. Oh no, we're not weak. Woo. Do we... Yeah, we are still in. Wow, okay, I forgot. I thought we were weak there for a second. But this is perfect. Gives us time to build up this Rayquaza. Let's go ahead and rush in. Kind of just going through the motions here. I'm sure this video is not too incredibly satisfying to watch, but thankfully we are down to 2 prizes now after we knock out this guy, and then we should be able to sweep the Palkia with our Rayquaza. I'm going to go ahead and play some cards out here just to thin our deck out a bit. I guess those are the only two I can really play. Don't want to end myself to 3. That seems against the point. So yeah, let's just go ahead. Dragon Ascent for the knockout. Discarding these guys. Haven't done a Lysander. Lysander would have been helpful throughout this game, but I guess it doesn't really matter. Our opponent has a Bunnelby too, and we have 11 cards left in deck. A little too late, but definitely something to consider. So I imagine our opponent hits us here. That'll knock us out. We promote discarding Dragon to knock out whatever, or sorry, discarding Fire to knock out whatever he sends up. Actually, maybe we just promote, like, oh, he doesn't choose to strife. Okay. That sounds fine to me. Let's just do this. Retreat. Dragon Burst, discarding Eelektrik for the game. So, very weird decision by our opponent there not to switch out. Definitely, I don't think they would have won that game anyways, but it would have bought them at least another turn. Maybe they just forgot our Rayquaza was Dragon type, not sure, but it's a pretty easy 1-0 victory there in round 1. Deck kind of functioned. Again, I have a feeling that by adding the Megas, we're kind of just making the deck a little bit clunkier than it needs to be. Our games last tournament and so far this tournament have just been, they've been wins, but they've been kind of clunky, kind of gotten weird draws. So it's possible that these changes aren't even worth it, but I do think they're fun, and you never know what's going to happen unless you test it out. So I'll see you guys for round 2. Hey everybody, Kenny Wisdom here. We're taking a mulligan in round 2. Gonna start with Keldeo and try and find a float stone rather than starting with Tynamo and opening ourselves up to something potentially bad. Venusaur and a Minccino. Alright. Let's take a look at Venusaur EX. Poison Powder, Jungle Hammer. Haven't seen Venusaur EX used too much. I know that Tyler and Amora played the Mega for states in which he finished, I think, X, like 4 and 3. However, out of the 3 people that were playing the deck, all 3 of them got paired within the first few rounds, so not exactly a fair representation of how good the deck is. This is an interesting hand. I think we just have to kind of Ultra Ball like this, because we really don't want to discard those double dragons. Normally you'd want to level ball there and get a Dynamo, but because of playing double dragons, we really want to keep those alive. We will level ball here and get a Dynamo. Generally, I've found that spending your early turn level balls to get Dynamos is better than Electrics. You just have more options to find those, and they can be found later. We'll draw 3 here. We'll Professor's Letter, just so we don't draw any energy in our next draw step. And then we'll just pass turn back. Didn't find the Float Stone, but couldn't have done anything this turn anyway, and we do have the ability to, let's say, top deck an Ultra Ball, discard 2 Lightning, attach the Fire, Colress for, or sorry, I guess Ultra Ball for a Electric, and then Colress for 7. So that's a possibility. We'll see what our opponent does. They attach something to Venusaur. What was that? Rocky Helmet. They just pass the turn back. Versus Seeker. But I'd rather just Colress. I'll attach the Fire to this guy. Colress for 1,000,000. Go there. Do I knock you out by discarding the Fire? Interesting. So what if I... I don't, so this is an interaction I don't actually know. If I choose fire, I don't know if I have to discard the double dragons as well. But let's try it. I actually don't know this. I haven't come across this interaction at all. But we'll find out. Nope, we didn't. Okay, awesome. Yeah, so I think the way that that rule works is that these can provide any two energy at a time, and so there's just there's an assumption that they're just not that type. Like if it came up in the rules, I think you could say, okay, one's providing electric, one's providing I don't know whatever else. So glad it worked out that way. I thought that's how it worked out, but wasn't quite sure. Ooh, Lysander. Just trying to trap our Keldeo here. We are just going to Juniper next turn. We do discard a Rayquaza, which is not important. A Shaman, which is, but doesn't matter. And most importantly, a bunch of electric energy. So yeah, I'll go ahead and discard like that. Level ball for one of these guys. No Spirit Links in the discard. Let's go ahead. Discard like this. To get a Float Stone. Attach it here. Dynamotor. Here. And so if he has a DCE, what does he do next turn? Poison Powder. Okay, that's fine. This is interesting. Not actually sure what the best play is here. I think I'm just going to... So, if I promote and I Dragon Burst, I'll do 60 discarding the electric. I'll be able to attach a maximum of 3 electric back next turn if I draw one and play one off the or play any electric down. I think that's actually fine. Now that I thought about it a bit more, I think I may as well put pressure on him. If he is going to Poison Powder us, we can retreat, or we can rush and retreat out of it anyway. We have the N for next turn. Don't want to take a turn off to Mega Evolve and might as well just put pressure on. He can't even attack, which is really nice. We'll go ahead and N. And we're doing it. So let's rush in. Dynamotor. Here. Retreat. Discarding electric. Not too worried about the damage. It's pretty small. Our opponent doesn't have a whole lot going on, and if we really ever got in a pickle, we could Mega Evolve to buy ourselves a turn or two, rather. There's a Charon. Hard Charm. Lysander. What does this do? Smooth coat. You can flip a coin. Okay. So. Alright, that's fine. That's fine. Evolve here. Rush in. I'm fine with just trying to go for it here. I mean, I guess actually we can just Lysander around it. It's probably the better idea. Whoops, shouldn't actually attach there if we're just gonna Lysander around it. Let's attach here. Take a Lysander, bring up this guy. Discard all the lightning. And now we're down to 2 prizes, and we actually drew the Verse Seeker there, so we can Lysander some more. We could have Ultra Balled two ends away there just to thin our deck out a bit, but I'm not overly concerned about getting N low. And there's a pass of the turn. Once again, let's just reset all this. Lysander here. Rush in, Dynamotor twice, and this time I am going to Ultra Ball just to be as safe as possible. Ultra Ball both ends. I'll take a Dynamo is fine. And then I'll play it. Retreat. And Dragon Burst. So now our opponent can't play anything. We could miss on this and we could give them a little bit of an edge, but I mean, before our opponent can take 6 prizes, I'd hope that we can flip ahead. So let's see what happens. Dynamotor. Dynamotor. HP is 90 on this guy. Let's go ahead, retreat here. Dragon Burst our lightnings away, and we did it. Oh, no, we didn't do it. They got heads, right? They flipped. Okay. So, I don't think our opponent's very likely to win, but this is one of the ways they can do it. I mean, if they just keep hitting us and we can't deal with it, it'll cause us trouble. I don't think that's going to be the case, but we'll see. Let's go ahead, build up this guy again. Alright, we're looking for a Tails. Nope, our opponent did it. Alright, so they're going to take a knockout on us here, which is fine. We have the backup Rayquaza. They're probably wisely not playing anything else because they know about the threat of Lysander. Alright, let's do it. There we go. Alright, so again, our opponent did almost get there. We could have played it more safe and retreated to our other one. Last turns, they couldn't have taken any prizes, but I figured it was best to just stack up the damage on the original one and let it get knocked out rather than let our opponent spread around. And we made the final, so I'll see you next round. Hey everybody, Kenny Wisdom here. Back for the finals. Our opponent's playing Pyroar, it looks like. Pyroar with a bunch of healing and a Frozen City. Alright, that's good to know. We only have one starter here, which is fine. We would like to do our mulligan. Eviltal, interesting. Okay, so our opponent's just playing a bunch of stuff here. He shows a Pyroar, shows us Sharpedo, and Eviltal. Alright. So Sharpedo actually can discard our double dragons and our fires, which we need to be scared of, but hopefully we don't run into that. Malamar, okay. Also possible our opponent's running a fairy deck of some sort. Have to believe they would have gotten out a Spritzy with this, so I guess that's not possible. But that is one of the things, if my opponent showed me this and I knew that they were a worthwhile player, I might actually think is like, okay, so what could be going on here? Why is he running all this stuff? And it is all dark, which makes it less likely that it's fairy, but those decks can play. Rainbow type energies. I'll attach here, and Got a Juniper. Can't not draw cards. Play the Dynamo. Mega Evolve. Oh! Wow, that was actually a mistake. The double dragon got discarded off the Mega Evolution. Well, I should have known about that. That's fine. We're just going to beach. So he's going to set us back a bunch. Drawing a Juniper would be excellent here. We can drop the dragon, or drop the Rayquaza, attach the Spirit Link, and then Juniper away all his energy. But definitely not a great place to start. Hopefully our opponent does not knock out our Dynamo. Let's have to pass the turn. Alright. We'll attach like this. Ultra Ball like this. We'll get a Shaman. We'll Level Ball for another Dynamo. Play it onto the bench. We'll play another Shaman. Draw 2. And do we have anything worthwhile? No, just all electric. Alright, we're going to go ahead and N. And we're not doing much here. Let's go ahead and grab these energies for later. And we'll pass the turn. So ideally next turn we can get both of our electrics set up and then attach the fire dynamotor twice to this one. This Malamar is getting big. No darkness on it though yet, so gonna have a hard time attacking with it until they find the darkness, but that's fine. Evo Soda. Gonna go evolve this guy. Yeah, opponent just not drawing darkness in general. What's this do? I can switch, that's fine. Malamar and this card don't seem to be too conducive together. Floatstone is fine to go on the Shaman. We'll attach here. And then we'll Juniper. Dynamotor, perfect. Perfect. No room left on our bench, but we have plenty of Dynamotor fuel. And let's Tropical Beach. And we woke up. So, next turn, we have the Lysander to knock out this Malamar, which will be nice, assuming that we can stay, that we won't be put to sleep again. And then we can Dowsing Machine for the Lysander again. We have discarded some Versus Seekers. Yeah, 2 of them. And if I did that, if I did end up Dowsing Machine, I would just go for the other EX. Just try and take as many prizes as possible that way. So we have the Lysander, the Dowsing Machine one, and then we have 2 other copies available via the Versus Seeker. But we do stay asleep. Wow, so we're having Keldeo here is really, or not having Keldeo rather, is really punishing us. So I guess we will attach from hand here. Dynamotor again, just so we have enough energy to deal with whatever. And could Mega Evolve, but don't really feel like doing that. Although maybe we just do. Maybe we just don't. Since we already have the double dragon. Yeah, actually, let's just go ahead and do that. That also allows us to beach for 1. So basically, my logic here is that typically the Dragon Rayquaza here takes a lot of energy, but we already have 1 fire. We have the 2 double dragons in hand, and then we have a bunch of electric on it, so we can kind of get that combo going where we just discard electric, except for this time we're doing 300, which is just optimal in the face of... optimal when we already have everything set up in the face of EXs, so Not too worried about it. Our opponent could come through with this Malamar and hit us, but I don't think they're going to quite yet. And this is what I mean with the deck too. You know, we're taking a lot of time. Our opponent just happens to also be dirtling. Like, our opponent hasn't attacked in its turn 5 or 6 or something. You know, you both have 8 or 9 minutes on the clock, so definitely we've been given, you know, if this was a normal expanded deck, we've been given so many extra turns. Wow, and they hit it again. Alright. Just attach there. And yeah, I'm just gotta pass the turn. Alright, we wake up this time. Let's see what happens. Definitely not leaving the space open for Keldeo. Punished us badly here. Again, hopefully our opponent doesn't capitalize on it because they're taking a long time, but we got punished for that. We got punished for Mega evolving into the Double Dragon as well. Alright, so we are asleep again. The good thing here is if we ever do wake up, we're going to deal with this Malamar really easily. But doesn't look like that's happening. Let's just go ahead and ship the turn back. Still asleep, unfortunately. Yveltal EX. So now, like, this is the thing, is that these past couple turns have given our opponent these big outs like this. So we definitely have to be mindful of what's going on. Our opponent does have 3 EXs up now, so we can do the Lysander, Dowsing for Lysander versus Seeker for Lysander play. But, oh, actually, we're awake now. Wow. So actually, we do have the chance to do that now. I'm going to Lysander up this guy. I'm going to retreat. I'm going to Dynamotor onto this fella here. Oops. Almost got stuck in that option for a second. And then we are going to Dragon Assault. Carding a bunch of Eelektrik. Alright, now we're feeling a lot better. We still have a bunch of energy that our Yveltal opponent can punish us with. They can do 160, 180 with DCE. But promoting that non-EX Yveltal is good for us. We're going to definitely go ahead and versus Seeker the Lysander back to hit this Yveltal coming up. Actually, I think we might actually Dowsing Machine here. Okay, so we have to switch. Fine, switching into this guy. So if we Dowsing Machine here, we are losing some flexibility versus Seekering for it, but we also don't need to play. We also can then later in the game draw the VS Seeker off the top, and whereas the Dowsing Machine would require cards to discard. So not sure. Again, Dowsing Machine, more flexibility for later, but versus Seeker, less of a cost later. Teammates getting any 2 cards he wants. Another Yveltal EX. And a passing. So yeah, let's go ahead, discard like this. Get Lysander back. Lysander this guy. Build up as many Dynamotors as possible. And then Ultra Ball, Level Ball, and N, just to thin cards as much as possible. Retreat like this. Do 300. Discard Electrics, and our opponent has to solve this problem this turn. And up, that's a concession. I was going to say an N here could hurt us. Something to mess with status effects again could hurt us, but we managed to pull out the win, the tournament win, and we won a tournament ticket. So, reviewing the deck a little bit, definitely an interesting one. Felt a little clunky at times, not sure if the list is perfect, but still, one was successful. Oh, I got a bunch of packs. Alright, so packs, and mystery chest. Awesome. But yeah, so Deck feels a little bit clunky. Not sure if the list is right, like I said, but we did do well. We did pull out the win. Then it's possible that I'm mistaking just the decks being naturally a little bit slow for clunkiness. We'll admit that that might be the case, but definitely let me know what you think in the comments and let me know what you'd like to see for next week's Expanded Friday. My name is Kenny Wisdom, and thank you for watching.